Ekansh, switch on the video. Rishwa, switch on the video. Vivan, okay. So we'll first revise that midpoint theorem or the proof of midpoint theorem. Then we'll start.
Ma'am, can you speak a bit loud?
Yes. Is it audible now?
Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am, when are we going to do the test discussion?
Discussion of test paper
Yes, ma'am.
यस
in 1 or 2
मैम
days.
उसमें उसमें एक क्वेश्चन में डाउट
Maybe
था।
Okay.
tomorrow we'll take up. Yeah. Okay, let us start with the revision of this theorem only. So we'll prove this theorem once again. So the statement is, if a line segment joins the midpoint of two sides of the triangle, then it will be parallel to the third side. So the given condition is there is one line segment which is being joined by midpoints of the triangle. So that means E is the midpoint of AB and F is the midpoint of AC. And when we join E and F, we need to prove that EF is parallel to BC as well as EF is half of BC. So these two conditions we are going to prove. If E is the midpoint of AB, F is the midpoint of AC, then EF will be parallel to BC. Now starting with, we'll construct EF such that we'll extend EF such that I'll get one point D, which will be which after we'll join CD, we'll get that EB is parallel to CD, or I can say that EF is equal to FD. So we are constructing like EF is equal to FD. So we are just extending F and we are getting EF is equal to FD. This is what we are doing from our side. Now, how will we prove? So to prove it, we are taking two triangles. One is triangle AEF. I'll highlight those triangles. So one is triangle AEF and the other triangle is triangle CFD. Now if I'll take up these two triangles, I can see it was given that AE is equal to EB, AF was given as equal to FC. These were the conditions given. So one of the side, that is AF and CF, are equal in these two triangles. Then if I'm talking about triangle AFE, it will be equal to triangle CFD because they are the vertically opposite triangles. Then we constructed in such a way that EF is equal to FD. That means side, angle, side. So by side angle side rule, I can say that these two triangles are congruent to one another. That is triangle AEF and triangle CDF. Are we clear up to here? Now, if the two triangles are congruent by CPCT, that means their corresponding parts will be equal. So can I say my angle EAF will be equal to CDF? or DCF means FDC, sorry. So EAF will be equal to DCF. That means this condition I'll highlight these angles as well. Angle EAF, that means this angle is equal to DCF. Now what type of angle they are? Can I say
Alternate interior.
Yeah, so as they are the alternate angles, if the alternate angles are equal, can I say these lines, that is AB and CD, will be parallel to one another? Now AB and CD are parallel to one another. That means this part EB will also be parallel to CD. So we got that EB is parallel to CD. That means EBCD is a parallelogram. Opposite sides are parallel to one another. So you will get that opposite sides are parallel, and from this I can say that opposite sides are equal as well. Now how they are equal? Now we know that AE is equal to EB, and this DC is equal to AF. You will this DC you will get equal to AE from the criteria only. I'll show you the criteria once again. It is like AEFD is congruent to CDF. So I can say that my AE will be equal to CD by CPCT. So if AE is equal to CD by CPCT, so I can say that my AE is equal to CD, which is equal to EB. So this one is equal to this is equal to this. So that means opposite sides EB and CD of parallelogram are equal and parallel or quadrilateral. Then we can say that EBCD is a parallelogram. Now if EBCD is a parallelogram, can I say my BC will be equal to ED?
मैम
Yes.
मैम आपने ये बोला कि लाइन ए बी ई बी और एफ सी पैरेलल है.
CD and EB.
कौन सी मैम?
EB. EB. Or BE. Okay. Okay. Now if I'm talking about BC and ED, they will be equal to one another and they will be parallel as well because they are the opposite sides of parallelogram. Now if BC is equal to ED, now we know that EF is equal to FD. So can I write 2EF in place of ED? Arjun, I'll take your topic at the last. I want to discuss something. So BC will be equal to twice of EF, we can say, or in short, I can say that EF is equal to half of BC. Are we clear?
मैम
Yes.
मैम चैट में किसी ने कुछ लिखा? क्योंकि मैंने कुछ नहीं लिखा. मैं
नहीं, चैट में किसी ने कुछ नहीं लिखा है. आई एम ऑब्जर्विंग योर वीडियो ओनली.
ओके मैम.
You are sitting for the session, so it is already instructed that you need not to pay attention to the surroundings or sit in a room where there is no one, the way you are attending school or regular school. So this is the regular school nowadays. Just ignore whatever is happening in your surroundings.
ओके मैम.
Okay, all of you, are we clear with this result? So, is there anyone who is having doubt in the midpoint theorem now as well? Yes, Ishan, you can unmute yourself. Ishan, I have explained it for the second or third time. Whatever the doubt you are having, tell me specifically.
मैम
Yes.
मैम इसमें डाउट नहीं है, वो कल के एक पेपर में ऐसा डाउट था कि जो रोम्बस वाला
Yeah,
जो क्वेश्चन था ना, जिसमें वो लाइंस ज्वाइन ज्वाइन, हाँ, तो मैम उसमें मतलब पूरा
that we are
प्रूव
going
नहीं
to
किया,
take up
उसको
tomorrow. You get
पैरेललोग्राम तक प्रूव किया
कोई
था,
बात नहीं.
तो कुछ भी मिलेगा?
Class test we are going to take up tomorrow. We'll discuss the solutions. Okay. And Ishan, if you have joined late, that is your problem. What is the reason for joining late? That is the famous reason we are getting nowadays. Okay, so we are going to start with the new chapter, that is congruent or the triangles, and then today we are going to take up the topic related to the congruence of triangles. So that congruence we have already discussed, but not in detail. So we are going to take up that topic today. So I'll just show you one video, then we'll start with the discussion.
Everyone, welcome to this lesson where we're going to explore the different triangle congruence theorems. So let's start out by asking the question, what does congruence even mean? We like to think of it as this equal sign with a squiggly line over it, but let's just take a few moments to really conceptualize what congruence means, especially in terms of figures. So let's look at a running shoe. If I can somehow duplicate this running shoe and make an exact replica, I would say that these two shoes are congruent because they are exactly the same size and shape. Now, even if I change the color of one of the shoes, or I rotate it around a certain number of degrees, it's still congruent to the original sneaker because it's the same size and shape. And we want to extend this kind of thinking now to comparing triangles to see whether or not they are congruent. If their corresponding sides and angles have the same measure, then we can say that the triangles are congruent. And this applies even when the figures don't have the same orientation, and visually it's not so easy to tell whether or not these triangles are congruent, and this is where our theorems are going to come into play. So the goal of this lesson is to help you to understand why the theorems that we use prove congruence, and how to know which theorem to use in a particular situation. So here are the 5 triangle theorems with their abbreviations. We have side, 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 angle, angle, side, angle, angle, side, and hypotenuse leg. So now we're ready to go ahead and explore each theorem individually. Now the side, side, side triangle congruence theorem states that if in 2 triangles we have 3 pairs of corresponding sides that are congruent to each other, that means that they have the same length, then that's enough information to say that the triangles are congruent to each other. Which again just means that both triangles are exactly the same size and shape. So in this instance, we can use the side, side, side theorem to conclude that the triangles are congruent and that their corresponding sides and corresponding angles have the same measure. And remember that this relationship is still true even if the figures have different orientation. Our next theorem is side, angle, side. Now for this triangle congruence theorem, we start with a pair of corresponding congruent sides in 2 triangles. We also have a pair of corresponding angles that are congruent and another set of corresponding sides that are congruent. Now see that the letter A is in between the 2 S's in the name of the theorem? This corresponds with that congruent angle being in between the 2 congruent sides. Now when this is the case, we have enough information to say that the 2 triangles are congruent by using the side, angle, side theorem.
Just said properly.
Our next congruence theorem is the angle-side angle theorem. When we have two triangles with a pair of corresponding congruent angles, a pair of corresponding congruent sides, and another pair of corresponding congruent angles, we have enough information to prove congruence using angle-side angle. Now it's important to notice that the congruent side is in between the two congruent angles. And now we can visualize that when this is the case, we have enough information to prove that the two triangles are congruent by angle-side angle, which means that all of their corresponding sides and corresponding angles have the same measure. Now our next theorem is very similar to the one that we just looked at, which was angle-side angle. This one is called angle-angle-side. Now when in two triangles, we have a pair of corresponding congruent angles, along with a second pair of corresponding congruent angles, as well as a pair of corresponding congruent sides. Now we don't want to confuse the last theorem, angle-side angle, and this theorem of angle-angle-side, because both of them involve two congruent angles and one congruent side. The difference is that in angle-angle-side, the congruent angles are consecutive, that is, that they are one after the other. And then the congruent side is next to them instead of in between them. Now, even though the order is different, we still have enough information here to prove that these two triangles are congruent, which means again that their corresponding sides and corresponding angles have the same measure. Now, our final congruence theorem is kind of a special case. It's called hypotenuse leg, and it applies to right triangles only. So let's start out with the key feature of any right triangle, and that is a right angle. Now we know that the hypotenuse of a right triangle is its longest side and is always opposite the right angle. So this congruence theorem says that if the hypotenuse in both right triangles are congruent, and if a leg, which is one of the other sides, are congruent, that is, they have a pair of corresponding congruent sides, then that is enough to say that the two triangles are congruent. Again, which means that the triangle's corresponding sides and corresponding angles have the same measure. So now that we've covered the 5 triangle congruence theorems, you may be asking, what about angle side side? Please don't be uptight. Okay, so now let's go ahead and explore why angle side side would not work as a triangle congruence theorem. So if we have a set of corresponding angles that are congruent and a set of corresponding sides that are congruent. Okay, so we have two sets. We have an angle followed by two consecutive congruent sides. The issue is with that second congruent side, since we don't know the angle in between the two congruent sides, we don't exactly know its position. So I could take that side and swing it over to a new location and still show that angle side side is still the case here, no matter how I choose to draw that second triangle. And I have the option of drawing it either way, since that's an isosceles triangle, so both of those sides are definitely congruent to each other. Now if I draw it this way as an acute triangle, I see that I have angle side side. However, the base of each triangle clearly are not the same, and these triangles clearly are not congruent. Thank you so much.
So these are the conditions which we'll be using for congruence, and there were some conditions which you saw which we'll not be using to prove them as congruent. So are we clear with the video?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
We'll just do the quick recap of what we saw in the video. So first we'll define triangle. You already know that triangle is a closed figure or polygon which is made up of 3 sides. It is the smallest polygon I can say. It has 3 vertex, 3 side and 3 angles. Now based on the properties, that means based on the side, whether the sides are equal or not, triangles are classified into 3. First one is scalene triangle. In scalene, none of the sides will be equal. In isosceles, 2 sides will be equal, and in equilateral, all the 3 sides will be of equal measurement. Then coming to the classification based on the angles. So acute, obtuse and right, that you already know. In acute angle, all the angles will be having measurement less than 90 degree. And obtuse, one of the angle will be greater than 90 degree. And in right, only one of the angle will be equal to 90 degree. What about other two angles? In case of right and obtuse angle?
Acute angle.
Ma'am, 180 minus.
Yes.
Yeah. So if one of the side is 90 degree, the others will be less than 90 degree. Or others will be less than 90 degree. And one more thing we can clarify for right angle, that the remaining two angles will always come up to 90. So the remaining two angles will always be complementary to one another. Okay. Then in case of obtuse angle, if one of the angle is obtuse, the two remaining will be acute or less than 90 degree. Now coming to the congruence of triangle. Now two triangles are congruent if their corresponding parts are equal. So to prove them, we are not going to prove all the parts as equal, but we'll be taking up different criteria. So if the triangles are congruent, we'll be showing up by this symbol, that is ABC, triangle ABC will write, then this symbol, then triangle DEF. This will be the symbolic representation. Okay. So if any of the two figures are congruent, their all parts are going to be equal. That is CPCT. Corresponding parts of congruent triangles are equal. Now coming to different rules. The first rule that you saw is side angle side. Now side angle side, that means we'll be going into the sequence. First I'll get one side, then angle and the other side. Or I can say that two of the sides and one angle included between these two sides. If they are equal in both the triangles, I can say that these two triangles will be congruent. So I need not to prove about the third side or the remaining two angles. By using SAS, I can directly say that these two triangles are congruent.
Ma'am, can you speak more louder?
Yeah. Is it clear now?
Ma'am, not that.
What about others? Are you getting it clearly?
Yes.
नहीं मैम कम ही आ रहा है.
Yes, ma'am.
Volume is a little.
वॉल्यूम बढ़ा
Volume is full only. Anaya, as others are getting, you can just try. I'll try to speak bit louder. Okay, so
Okay, ma'am.
we'll go to the second condition. It is ASA. So you'll take first angle, then side, and the third angle. So that means two angles and the side included between them, or the side which is common between them, I can say. So if I'm taking up this one, your angle first is here, then your second angle from both the triangles you can see. So angle 1 is equal to angle 1, angle 2 is equal to angle 2, and this side which I'm highlighting by circling will be equal between these two triangles. So if in this way two angles and the including side of one triangle is equal to the two angles and the including side of the second triangle, then the triangles will be congruent. Are we clear with ASA rule?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
We'll move forward to the next rule, which is AAS rule. So in AAS, if one of the angle, if I'm starting from here, this is my one angle which is equal to the angle of the other side, other triangle, then the second angle, then side. So we are going into the sequence by A, then S. So you can see A, S. Then also the triangles will be congruent to one another.
Ma'am,
Yes.
ma'am, in AAS, if we means how it will be congruent. If the means the side which has the both the angles, if we make it smaller in one, then the measurement of angles will not be changed, but they will not be also
Yes.
congruent. So
Okay,
how
so
we have
if you are
to?
making this measurement up to here and this measurement up to here, will they meet at some point?
No, ma'am. I'm telling the measurement of side where we have taken the two angles congruent. So the third side. If I'm making one
Okay.
means one of the side
Yes.
as smaller, then the angles will
Hmm.
not be changed.
You can try.
So how we will?
You can try you can try with it, but according to me, if you will change the side of this measurement, then the side of this third side will also change. So all the angles and the sides will get affected.
मैम अगर एंगल साइड में एक साइड दी हुई है तो फिर वो कई ज्वाइन तो करना पड़ेगा ना, तो सेम ही होगा.
हाँ, दैट इज व्हाट आई एम सेइंग कि अगर आप थर्ड साइड यहाँ पे इफ यू विल ट्राई टू ज्वाइन, अगर आप इसका साइड रिड्यूस कर देते हो, अगर आपने इसका साइज इतना कर लिया, इफ यू आर रिड्यूसिंग इट, then this side will not meet up the third side at the point.
Yes, ma'am. I understood.
So the angle
It
will
will. We have
change.
to.
Yeah, so all the conditions you'll have to take. So after taking all the conditions, they should satisfy. Okay. Now coming to the fourth condition, that is SSS criteria. So SSS is the simplest one. That means all the sides, that is first will be equal to the first, second is equal to the second side, third is equal to the third side. So if all the sides are equal, the triangles will be congruent. Then coming to the last condition, that is RHS. In video you have seen this as HL. So same condition is there. RHS, that means both the triangles will be having one angle as 90 degree. Then their hypotenuse, that is this one, AC and DF will be equal, and one of the side, that means you can take up AB or BC. So if AB we are taking, it will be equal to DE. If I'm taking BC, it will be equal to EF. So right angle, hypotenuse and side of two triangles, if they are equal, both the triangles will be congruent to one another. Are we clear up to here?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Then we'll take up
Ma'am?
there are, yes.
मैम RHS तो फिर एक टाइप से एंगल साइड नहीं हुआ.
हाँ, सेम थिंग. यहाँ पे एंगल साइड ही हो गया वो, और साइड एंगल ही साइड एंगल ही हो गया. बट दिस विल यहाँ पे वी हैव रिटन दैट SSA और ASS will not be considered as the criteria for congruence, but here we have considered. The reason is because the angle is given as 90 degree. अगर एंगल 90 नहीं दिया होता तो we could not have considered. That is why it is given the special name RHS. Okay. Then you have already seen in the video that we'll not be able to consider SSA and AAS as the criteria for congruence. The reason you have already seen in the video. Then the second is AAA criteria, which we were using in the quadrilaterals. At some of the times we used, but their alternative was also available. So AAA criteria is also not the right condition to prove the triangles congruent. Are we clear up to here?
But
Yes.
three angles equal, so we can take two angles equal, so the sides will be equal, and then we can prove.
No, if all the angles are equal, we are not sure about the sides. I can give you one famous example for that. Rhombus. In rhombus, all the sides are equal, but are all the angles equal?
No, ma'am.
No.
Think in that way. Okay, we can discuss that in detail as we are having 1 minute time. We are having time so that we can discuss. So A test is also not a valid test, as even though two triangles can have same angles. You can see here the angle C is equal to angle F, angle A is equal to angle D, angle B is equal to angle E, but the sides are not equal. So as the sides are not equal, they will not be congruent to one another. You will learn in your class 10th that they are similar to one another, but they are not congruent. Okay. Then if I'm discussing about SSA or ASS, you can see in ASS, if I'm taking this angle is equal to this angle, and this side is equal to this side, and this third side is also equal to this one, but they may not be equal if I'm changing the orientation. अगर मैं ये साइड को यहाँ पर ज्वाइन कर लूँ, angle will remain same, this side will remain same, and the measurement of this side will remain same, but the measurement of this side will change. So I can say that ASS or SSA will also not hold for the congruency. Are we clear with the criteria to prove them congruent? So these are the all criteria which we'll use to prove them congruent. And after proving them congruent, we can say that the corresponding parts of the congruent triangle are always equal. So we need not to prove each and every part. We can only prove the parts which are required as per our criteria. Or the parts which are easy to prove, we'll take up those parts only with the help of criteria. And other parts will automatically will become equal. Are we clear? Or is there any doubt? Okay. So I'm ending up the session here. Goodbye all of you.